Elon Musk believes humanity's future depends on Mars, not in a poetic way, not as a dream, but as a necessity. And that idea alone should make you pause. Because when one of the most powerful tech minds on Earth says our survival depends on leaving this planet, the real question isn't how, it's why. Today we're going to talk honestly about Elon Musk's plan to colonize Mars, what he believes will happen if we don't, and whether this vision actually makes sense, or if it's far more fragile than it sounds. Elon Musk doesn't talk about Mars like a vacation destination. He talks about it like an insurance policy, a backup plan, a second chance. According to him, humanity is constantly walking toward self-destruction. Nuclear war, climate collapse, artificial intelligence, pandemics, asteroid impacts. He believes it's not a matter of if something wipes us out, but when. And Mars, in his mind, is the only realistic way to make sure humans don't disappear forever. That idea sounds dramatic, but it's rooted in something very real. Earth is vulnerable. Civilization is fragile. History has proven that again and again. Empires collapse. Technologies backfire. Mistakes compound. Elon Musk sees Mars as a way to spread the risk. If humanity exists on more than one planet, extinction becomes less likely. But here's where things get complicated. Colonizing Mars isn't like building a city. It's not even like building a space station. It's attempting to create a self-sustaining civilization on a planet that actively works against human life. Mars doesn't just make survival difficult. It makes it unnatural. Elon Musk's plan revolves around making Mars accessible, cheap, repeatable, scalable. That's why SpaceX exists. The rockets aren't just vehicles. They're the foundation of his entire Mars vision. Reusable rockets, massive cargo capacity, frequent launches. Musk believes that if the cost of space travel drops low enough, Mars stops being impossible and starts being inevitable. His long-term vision involves sending thousands, eventually millions, of people to Mars, building cities, mining resources, producing fuel on the planet itself, creating a self-sufficient ecosystem that no longer depends on Earth. And on paper, it sounds logical. Mars has water ice. It has carbon dioxide. It has sunlight. With enough engineering, you can extract oxygen, grow food, produce fuel, and build habitats. Musk believes that technology can solve each problem one by one. But the difference between theory and reality is where things start to fall apart. Let's talk about the environment first. Mars has an atmosphere, but it's almost useless for humans. It's thin, extremely thin. You can't breathe it. The pressure is so low that your body wouldn't survive without constant protection. Even if you added oxygen, the pressure problem remains. Mars simply doesn't hold air the way Earth does. Then there's radiation. Mars has no strong magnetic field. That means cosmic radiation and solar radiation hit the surface almost directly. Over time, this damages DNA, increases cancer risk, and affects brain function. Living on Mars would require people to spend most of their lives underground or inside heavily shielded structures. That already raises a serious question. If humans have to live buried beneath the surface, constantly protected from their environment, are we really colonizing Mars, or are we just hiding from it? Elon Musk acknowledges these problems, but he believes they're manageable. He often compares early Mars settlers to the first humans who crossed oceans. Dangerous journeys, high risk, no guarantee of survival. But progress has always required sacrifice, and that comparison is powerful, but it's also misleading. Early explorers crossed oceans on Earth. They still had breathable air, gravity, liquid water, an ecosystem that could support life. Mars offers none of that naturally. Every single system required for survival must be built, maintained, and never fail. One critical failure on Earth can be fixed. On Mars, it can end everything. Food production is another major challenge. Mars soil contains toxic chemicals. You can't farm it like Earth soil. Crops would need controlled environments, artificial lighting, recycled water, and constant monitoring. A single crop failure could be catastrophic. Water must be extracted from ice, melted, purified, recycled endlessly. Energy must be reliable despite dust storms that can block sunlight for weeks. Nuclear power may help, but that introduces new risks and dependencies. Then there's gravity. Mars has about 38% of Earth's gravity. That affects bones, muscles, hearts, and even vision. Astronauts already experience serious physical changes after months in microgravity. We don't know what decades in low gravity would do to humans. We especially don't know what would happen to children born there. That's a massive unknown. A civilization can't exist without reproduction. If humans can't safely grow, develop, and reproduce on Mars, colonization becomes temporary by default. Elon Musk has admitted that early Mars settlers would likely face death. He has said people should go knowing they might not return. That honesty is rare, but it also reveals the true nature of the plan. Mars colonization isn't about comfort. It's about survival under extreme conditions. Now let's talk about psychology. Living on Mars would be isolation on a level humans have never experienced. Earth would be a distant out in the sky. Communication delays would mean no real-time conversations. Emergency help would be months away. Every decision would carry enormous weight. Even on Earth, isolation damages mental health. In Antarctica, in submarines, in space stations, humans struggle despite extensive preparation. Mars would be permanent isolation. Elon Musk believes humans will adapt, that humans always do. But adaptation has limits. The human brain evolved on Earth, with open skies, nature, social diversity. Mars offers metal walls, artificial light, and routine survival stress. Another major issue is sustainability. Elon Musk emphasizes self-sufficiency. A Mars colony must be able to survive without Earth. But that is an incredibly high bar. Every machine, every replacement part, every medical emergency, every system failure must be handled locally. Earth civilizations rely on massive supply chains, redundancy, diversity. Mars would start with none of that. And then there's the question of scale. Elon Musk talks about millions of people, but moving even a few hundred would be one of the most complex logistical challenges in history. Rockets fail. Budgets change. Politics interfere. Public interest shifts. Mars colonization would require decades of consistent global support. That's rare on Earth. There's also an ethical dimension. Who gets to go to Mars? Who decides? Who takes the risk? Who stays behind? If Mars becomes a survival plan for humanity, but only a small group can access it, what does that say about the future we're building? Some critics argue that focusing on Mars distracts us from fixing Earth. Elon Musk disagrees. He believes we can do both. Save Earth and build a backup. But resources are finite. Attention is finite. Political will is finite. Mars colonization could either inspire humanity to think bigger, or become an excuse to accept damage to Earth. So will Elon Musk's plan really work? The honest answer is this. Parts of it will. Humans will reach Mars. They will build habitats. They will live there temporarily. They will learn incredible things. But turning Mars into a true second home, a self-sustaining civilization capable of surviving independently, is far more uncertain. Mars is not Earth waiting to be unlocked. It's a dead planet with deep structural limitations. Weak gravity, no magnetic field, thin atmosphere, high radiation. These aren't engineering problems. They're planetary realities. Elon Musk's vision is bold, necessary maybe, but also extremely optimistic. And optimism has always driven humanity forward. Mars colonization may never look like cities under open skies. It may never feel natural. It may remain fragile forever. But perhaps that's not the point. Maybe the real value of Elon Musk's Mars plan isn't the planet itself. It's what it forces us to confront. How fragile life is. How rare Earth is. How much we depend on conditions we barely notice. Mars may never save humanity, but the effort to reach it might teach us how to protect what we already have. And that may be the real future Elon Musk is pushing us toward. Not escape, but awareness. Because if humanity can survive on Mars, even briefly, it proves something powerful. That life is resilient. That intelligence can push against the limits of nature. That extinction is not inevitable. But whether Mars becomes a second Earth, or remains a harsh outpost on the edge of survival, is still an open question. And that question may define the next chapter of human history.